Hey guys, for anybody replacing the inner reverse light on CX-5, there's not really much information on the internet for this, so I figured I'd post a little video. This is a 2019, so we're talking about this inner lens here with the reverse light. In this case, it's the driver's side, already removed. So it's this piece right here, and the reverse bulb is burnt out. It's all one piece, all one unit. There's no way to actually replace just that bulb, so you have to buy the whole unit. And this one broke a little when it came out. May have already been broken, I don't know. Regardless, it's about $150 to $180 part from Mazda. There are some knockoffs on eBay. That's what I did for about $42. So you do have to remove some of the inside. When you're removing the inside of the liftgate, first thing you got to do is pop out the little plastic guy that's in here. And basically the back piece will lift off, will pry off with the little connectors, as you can see. Sorry, try to get some good light in here. So there's a bunch of these connectors that go into these little holes over here, as you can see on the back of the liftgate piece. So I'm trying to get you focused in here. These clips, so these little green guys, a couple down here on the bottom and over there. So there's looks like we have two on each side, two in the bottom near where the latch is, and three up, well, two at the top and then one in the middle here. So there's one there and one over there. And then again, there is also a couple of clips that go in on the edge. So as you can see, sorry, trying to get an angle here. This is where it connects to the top. There's a couple clips in here, just like the one that's on the bottom that goes through this hole here. They are going to be the small clips like this. Sorry, trying to get some good light here. So one of these type clips. So you pry up the center with a really small screwdriver or maybe an edge of a razor blade, and those will pop out. Again, there's one that's going to be on the side, and it's going to connect. It's going to connect into the. It's going to connect in right up over here. So it's going to be actually behind this side trim. So you do have to kind of pry this side trim down, and that will give you access. And then again, when you do get in here, there are the 10mm nuts that need to be removed. Two that in the middle, one here, one over here on those studs. Those go into the trim piece, the upper trim piece on the outside. And then you're gonna have, where the actual light comes out, you're gonna have two over here. One of those goes into the light housing that you're removing. The other one also goes into the trim piece on the back. I believe that's the lower trim piece, but regardless, you do need to take those out on the side you're removing. This is the passenger side. I did not remove these because I am doing over here on the driver's side is the one that burnt out on me. So over here, top one being the one that goes in the housing. Bottom one, you can just sort of see the stud in there, if I can get the right light. But you need to take that off so you can pry that back. That's the one that cracked on me on the other side. So be careful on that. Make sure you remove both of them. And yeah, the back, the rest are just all snap into these holes here. So again, two over here, two in the bottom, two over here, two at the top just below the glass and one in the middle right here. And that's the inside. And once you get that off, it's really just access to those 10mm bolts, so you can get those out. It's the only way to do it. There's no access panels on the 2019, so you have to pull this whole piece. Again, you can leave the rest of it intact for the most part. So, and sometimes these clips that are on the inside here, these little metal clips like these guys, they may stay in the plastic or they may stay in the metal on the lift gate. I had one of mine pop out over right in there, that one. So that one is still stuck in here. I don't know if you can even see that. Right in there, so it's still stuck in the side. Again, right there, and then the top one, one goes in there. The top one up here popped out like it's supposed to. And then this third hole up here is where that little pin goes in, which holds part of the lower section of the liftgate trim panel on the inside. So hopefully that's helpful there, and we'll move on to the outside part now. Alright guys, so a couple other things I missed on the other video I did is going to be the handle has to be popped out of the trim, obviously, before you can pull the trim off the back. There's also a little access piece here. So again, those are going to be a little hand grab thing for the lift gate. You need to pop that puppy out. There's also, I'm not sure even what this guy is, but it goes through the metal and the trim piece, so you got to pop that out. There is an access plate in the rear trim. I took that out, but you don't need to. I think that's just to get access to the latch for the lift gate. So again, that would go into this hole here back. So looking at our rear trim, that's that piece that goes in here. Again, I don't think you need to take that out. I don't see why you would need to. But again, there is down here on the bottom, that's going to be where the grab handle is, so that has to be popped out, and then that other little trim piece that goes in there has to be popped out as well. That was not in the other clip, so just wanted to mention that. Looking over on the outside again, the top trim piece that goes along here with the emblem on it, that has to pop out. Basically has these green clips that go in these holes across here, and then there are a couple of white or yellowish clips that go in on each side. One here, one over here, and there is double-sided tape that was in here. This is the new tape I put on, but the double-sided tape here is a little tough to deal with. Here is the view of the back of this piece. It's upside down. So these black sections here are sort of a separate piece that's like plastic welded on to the actual body panel. These ones broke off on me, so I had to super glue this back on, put a little silicone behind it. When you pry this off, you're going to want to try to make sure you get underneath this. This is where the double-sided tape is. You want to try to make sure you get under there. I think I kind of pried a little bit from here and it snapped off. So the clips that will break, they go in here. So it slides in this guy right here. This is the clip that goes back into here on this side here. So the clip will sit in there like that. So these are the ones that you're going to want to buy. Hopefully that's kind of focusing for you. Anyway, that's the one that's going to go one on each side here. And I put a different clip in here because I don't know if you guys can see that. Sorry, that white one right there. Looked like that one would hold it too, rather than buying new ones from Mazda. I had some assortment of clips here. These other greenish ones are the ones that pop out no problem. There's one in here in the middle by the emblem that's orange. There is a clip behind the emblem that goes right in here. So this is where your emblem is. There's a clip that goes right in here. That snapped off on mine. I super glued it back on. It's right behind the emblem. It's this clip right here. I don't know how you get that off. Maybe I should have pried. That might be accessible from the inside. So you may want to try to pop that clip before you pull this trim off. Otherwise, this trim came off fine with the exception of I broke off this black piece on the driver's side. But as you can see, passenger side came off fine. I still have to clear off the tape here. That's the double-sided tape that's on the corner, so that creates a little bit of a problem. This is upside down, but this is the passenger side in my case. Final section that you need to take off, or at least loosen, is this main piece across the back. So I did not even pop out the passenger side because I'm not replacing this one. But I did pop out some of the connectors down below here. Let me see if I can get some better light. All right, guys, so a couple other things I missed on the other video I did is going to be the handle has to be popped out of the trim, obviously, before you can pull the trim off the back. There's also a little access piece here. So, again, those are going to be a little hand grab thing for the lift gate. You need to pop that puppy out. There's also, I'm not sure even what this guy is, but it goes through the metal and the trim piece, so you got to pop that out. There is an access plate in the rear trim. I took that out, but you don't need to. I think that's just to get access to the latch for the lift gate. So again, that would go into this hole here back. So looking at our rear trim, that's that piece that goes in here. Again, I don't think you need to take that out. I don't see why you would need to. But again, there is down here on the bottom, that's going to be where the grab handle is. So that has to be popped out. And then that other little trim piece that goes in there has to be popped out as well. That was not in the other clip. So just wanted to mention that. Also, when you do pull out the light housing, depending on which side you're on, this is the driver's side, so there is a piece that pops in there on the side, this little guy. So there's a couple of clips here. To access this, pops right in the side. You guys can see that. Pops right in there. So to access these clips, you have to pop this little guy off. So a little there. That covers the hole in this, which you can just access from the side of the lift gate. It just pries out there. It's got sorry, there we go. It's got a little clip on the side and then a little guy in here. So that fits right in here. But you have to pop that out to get access to these clips that you can pop off the side, because this loops around the side of the lift gate here. So where the light goes in, you guys can see that it kind of clips on over here. So you need to get that off to be able to pull this housing straight out the back. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of stuck on the edge there. So you'll want to take that out. If you look at the side that I didn't do over here, you can see the plate there. Sorry, trying to get you guys some good light. So right in there, you can see that plate. So this guy has to come out. So pop this guy off, then you'll see the clips behind it that you can use probably a small screwdriver near those pliers. Pop this piece here, I'll come off the edge of the housing. I'm pretty sure the new housing doesn't have that, so you probably have to reuse that part, but I don't have the new part yet, so I can't really comment on that. But again, all right, sorry guys, trying to get some better light here. So these are the clips, same as the top trim, so little turquoise clips. They pop out pretty good. I don't know if I tried to pry this, well, no, I don't think I did. But this stud, you can see that stud there, where that stud connects to the trim on the back, it did crack on mine. I just put some super glue in there. There's enough other pieces in here. There's 2 on this side here, hard to see. There's a couple up here, and then there are a couple in the middle. This is where one of the studs is right there. Sorry, right there. That's the stud. Then there's another clip in here and another stud on this side. So you definitely want to take those out from the inside before you try to pry this back. I was able to leave, again, this other side intact because there's a little bit of flex here and you can kind of finagle out the housing here. So did, like I said, put in some new double-sided tape, and yeah, just waiting for the part to come in, and then get that part in there, screwed in, or put the nuts on it rather. Pop this middle piece back into place, replace the other 10mm nuts that are in the back. So I took off, there's 3 that connect to this trim piece here. 1 in here, 1 in here, and there's the one right down in this section here, like basically right behind where the light is. And then there's the one that actually is on the light housing as well. After you put the light in, it'll pop into this connector here, the other connector down in here, and then the stud goes through, I don't know, it goes through one of these other holes, I think, probably up in here, I guess. Not quite sure. And yeah, that's about it. So once that is popped back in, then you can put that top piece of the trim on. And again, I did replace the double-sided tape in here to help, and more than likely you're gonna have to replace this clip on both sides, although I did manage to get one of them off. So I think that's because I broke the black piece on this side, so it stayed on here when I took the trim off, so it was still connected. So I was able to kind of pop that one out after you can see it, because obviously you can't see it, it's behind the trim. And again, that goes in between the metal on the back of the car and then this little guy over here. So again, that's gonna, when you put it back together, you're gonna stick your piece in there and you're gonna snap that in. And then I got this one over in here that's going to snap in on the other side. But as you can see, there are numerous pieces of this, so I highly doubt it's going to come flying off on the road or anything like that. So anyway, any questions, message me. Hopefully this helps some people out, because there's literally no info on the CX-5 replacing this bulb. This again is a 2019 CX-5 Sport. Still has LEDs. And yeah, it's an integrated housing, so fun stuff. You need to take that whole piece out, and from there, not too bad though. It's really popping these trim pieces off and trying not to break too much shit in the process. I do hear the dealer will charge you about $1,000 to replace this, and even if you buy the Mazda part's about, I think, 175 bucks. I'll put some comments after I replace this and I get the eBay part. Hopefully it's good enough, but I just want the car to pass inspection. And again, it was just the reverse light on the driver's side that was dead. Everything else is working back here. So hopefully this is helpful. Again, have a great day, everyone.